Hey everybody, I'm Jer. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay, so I might have been a little bit wrong on SOPA. I'm not wrong in that it's a crap stock because it is. It is a junk stock. The company did $103,000 in revenue in the last 4 quarters. Total combined 103,000 in the last quarter, 103,000 combined for the last 4 quarters. Okay, so that being said, yes, they are a crap stock. However, however, that is what is fueling the fire to keep SOPA price going up. So as we put focus on how crap of a company this is, shorts are saying, okay, yeah, it's a crap company. I'm going to short this. And they borrowed shares at this probably, 15, 16 bucks. They will then return those shares once the stock drops, but they have to wait it out till it drops. Meanwhile, if they can't wait it out, they have to cover. Whenever they cover, they end up having to cover at a higher rate, buying the shares. Whenever they have to buy so many shares, there's limited shares because I think it's 72% of the shares are locked up until April, because SOPA is a new company listed on the stock exchange, and this is part of their deal. So the insiders who own 5% or more, including their CEO, who owns like 72% of the company or something like that, their shares are locked up. Now then, so it leaves, instead of it being like 20 million, I think is what it's listed as, 20 million shares, it ends up being closer to like 5 million shares or something like that, maybe less, that are able to be traded. So it makes it a super low float stock. And so if you're shorting a low float stock, then that's basically locking up shares too. So what's available to trade ends up making the stock price go higher because there's so few shares trading. And yeah, so basically shorts are kind of competing against themselves right now. And they're saying, okay, well, this stock is worth crap. It's not worth anything. Let me get in and short it at this high amount, 15, 16 bucks, whatever it happens to be at. And then, once it drops back down to where it should be, in my opinion, it should be trading at like 50 cents, because the company, doing 10 times revenue would put it at what, $1 million. The company would be worth $1 million. There's 20 million shares. Yeah, it ends up being like less than 50 cents. But anyway, so the company is worth less than $1 a share, in my opinion. Way less than $1 a share, in my opinion. But the thing is because this lockup period and how few shares there are and how many people are seeing that, hey, this company isn't worth crap, and they're shorting it, they're holding those shares, hoping that it goes down so that they can give those shares back and take a profit. The problem is that more people are seeing that shorts are doing this and buying up more shares, pushing the stock price higher. Well, if it gets to a certain point, then shorts are going to be going, okay, this is going to keep going up. I need to cover before I get caught up in this. Ended up having to buy shares at $100, and like, instead of it being buy the shares back at like $3 and give them back, I don't want to have to be buying the shares at $100. I'm going to go ahead and cover, which makes the stock price go even higher. And so, yeah, so I was kind of wrong on where the stock is going to go based off of that. The stock is crap. Like, you don't want to get stuck holding this stock. And some of the problem is that there's kind of like, what if the company does a stock offering? Or, what else could happen that could bring the stock price back down? You don't want to be caught holding the stock on the other end of that either. So it's very high risk, but also could be very high reward. Let's actually go here and look at it. Okay, so Society Pass, 1597. Let's actually, no, I don't think that's correct. Just a second. Let's refresh this. All right, Society Pass 1555. A 345% increase from a week ago. This all started because SOPA was listed to the Russell 2000, which is not that big of an accomplishment, but any kind of news for a company that only has like really 5 million shares available or less is going to be kind of big news because it's such a low float, some few shares are available. It can cause the stock price to jump pretty high, pretty quick. This is, 1555 after hours. Okay, so if we go down here, you'll see this is where the quarterly revenues are. December 2020, 2007, 700, 9,500 for March, 7,780 for June, and then 83,530 for September. So they're seeing increases in revenue, but it's not anything to celebrate really. So that is what is fueling people shorting this stock is these numbers and looking at their operating income and how much they're losing. So 8 million they lost in this quarter, 4 million that quarter, 2 million that quarter, 1 million that quarter. So the losses are insane. And so shorts are seeing this and just going crazy. You know, this stock is trading way too high. Let's get in and short it. So they borrow the shares at 15 or 16 bucks, thinking, okay, well, enough people will see this bad part of this stock and will sell because they're like scared this stock is worth nothing. So they think people are going to sell. Instead, though, people are buying because they want to trap shorts and cause a short squeeze, which could in turn, if enough people buy in and are willing to take the risk in it, then that could in turn push this stock even higher. The more people, the more notice that this stock gets, and people just ignore the bad revenue and realize that, hey, there's a lot of shorts in here. Let's burn them. We can make them cover at, 16, 18, 20 bucks. And if enough of them are covering, it's going to keep on pushing it higher, which is then going to draw in more shorts who will borrow the shares at 20 and 25, thinking there's no way this could go higher. Then more people follow up by buying more and pushing it up even higher. And it's just a vicious cycle that is going, that could, it might not, that could push this thing to like 90 bucks a share. If you have enough people getting in wanting to burn shorts. I don't generally get into short squeezes, and you've probably heard me talk about it before. I don't believe that every stock is like ready for a short squeeze, and you'll hear that a lot online. But I believe that SOPA could very well be a short squeeze contender because of just how low float this stock is, the amount of people that are buying it to push it up, with the goal of squeezing shorts to have to cover, lose money. Then the people who are in it can take money from shorts. If you have enough people that are doing that, then this stock could push up, which kind of goes against what I've said in previous videos, because I thought, well, SOPA isn't like a known name, but I believe that it could go higher if you have enough people shorting the stock and enough people that are getting in, taking that risk. Even though you look at these numbers, they're really bad numbers, you have enough people getting in, it could push this stock high enough that shorts get scared and have to cover, pushing it up higher, which will bring in more shorts who are going to be like, oh my gosh, there's no way that the stock can go higher than 20 or 40 bucks or 20 or 30 bucks. And then sure enough, it gets pushed up even higher to 50 or 60. And then those shorts cover, and then more shorts come in. They're like, oh, there's no way. And it just keeps on going until something happens that brings it down. And that could happen at any point. And there's a lot of risk in that. I won't be getting into this, but I can see the potential for it to go much higher or go much lower, either way pretty quickly. So if you're going to do it, be very careful. I would suggest, if I were doing it, I would only be doing it during the day, like during the trading day. I would not be doing it pre-market or after hours, because that's whenever a lot of offerings are announced and news comes out. But some good news could also come out, which could make it spike up after hours, but I still wouldn't take that risk. And I think I would, I don't know, which it kind of takes away from it, because unless you have people who are holding it overnight, holding it pre-market, then shorts could cover early morning or after hours more easily. So if I was shorting it, I would, and I felt like I needed to cover, I would try to get it covered in the early hours or after hours, after normal stock hours, from 4 to 8, or do it from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. or from 4 a.m. to 9-ish, 9:30 is when I would cover if I was a short on the stock, because I would, if I was in it, if I was buying shares, I'd be buying them during the trading day, because it's less risky as far as like announcements coming and what could happen to bring the stock down, and you end up getting stuck with shares. It's less likely you'll get stuck with shares and them announcing an offering. I don't even know if they can announce an offering other than pre-market or after hours. I don't think that they can. I might be wrong on that, though. I don't believe they can announce an offering in the middle of the day. So it's less risky to trade during the day buying in, and less risky to cover your shorting in the morning or at night. It would be because you're going to have less people trading, less volume, obviously. Okay, so let's go back here. All right, yeah. So I just wanted to make a video and say that I can definitely see this going much higher. I can see it going to like 90 or even higher. There's just so few shares available because 72% of the shares are locked up. And I'm not sure that the company would even want to do an offering, because that would dilute the CEO's ownership. And he wants to try to keep it, from what I'm understanding, reading the prospectus from the company and the filing, he wants to try to maintain an above 50% of control, and that takes him having more than 50% of, or he wants to keep a lot of control, and that's going to take him maintaining ownership of at least 50% of the company. But he may also be like, you know what, F it, let's just do an offering. And I don't even know if he can do an offering this close to bringing the company public. I'm not for sure what the rules are on that, so you'd want to Google that before you get into. Yeah, that's all I have. I do believe, like I said, this could go much higher or much lower. It's very risky, but if you're willing to put in the risk, you can also see a great reward from it. And if enough people are willing to pile in and put money in buying shares, it could definitely trap shorts shorting the stock and make them have to cover at much higher rates, bringing the stock up even higher. So just something to keep an eye on. All right, that's all I have. If today is Christmas Eve, I'm doing a video on Christmas Eve, but if you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Happy Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas tomorrow. And I will see you all very soon. Love you. Bye. Mwah.